The parable of the wheat and the weeds. This is one of a small number of parables where Jesus answers his disciples' question to explain the parable. I find this interesting because it seems that the kingdom of heaven, the way Jesus describes it, is not some ideal future state, but is the now. Now. We are the citizens of heaven, but around us are some who are not yet citizens of the kingdom. This is an encouragement for us to get on with showing the qualities of the Christian life to those around us who are in that category of not yet citizens of heaven. Life in Jesus' time was very different from ours. It was an agricultural community where you waited for the crops to grow and for the animals to give birth. It required patience and faith. You had to wait for the crops to grow, and if they didn't, you would starve. If you couldn't feed the animals, they would starve, and you would too. It was like the third world today, and there was nothing you could do about it. There were no relief agencies. This is quite a contrast with today's industrial society, with its global supply chains and I want it now philosophy. As we are in lockdown, so we have to relearn patience and faith. You just have to wait. I find the attitude of the media both amusing and irritating. They want to know the answers to their questions before it happens. There is a bad side to lockdown, of course, in that we suspect the growth of domestic abuse, with terror for women and young people every day, and a good side to it in the growth of neighbourliness and community. Just last week, my wife was getting tea ready and realised we'd run out of scones. At that moment, the doorbell rang. Our neighbour across the road had delivered 4 of her new batch of scones for us. We don't know her very well at all. It would be only the second or third time we've spoken to her in about 3 years. The kingdom of heaven is the whole situation, good and bad. Only at the end, the day of judgment, will it be resolved. The old translation of the Bible call the weeds tares and sometimes darnel, weeds that for much of their growing time are difficult to distinguish from the wheat. Only at harvest time can you tell the difference for certain. Thus the farmer tells his men to wait till then. Then they can throw the weeds into the fire. Several commentators think that this is an illustration of God's patience. As it says in the second letter of Peter, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, but is long-suffering towards us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come but to repentance. The implication is that between now and Judgment Day, some of the weeds, at least, will turn to God and be changed, as we are all changed when we turn to God. So let me give you a new slogan for these difficult times. Be patient, have faith, keep praying.